Hey, this is RonnygoBOOM, and welcome to Choicecraft Factions. This is a really tough server where a lot of people really love to kill people. So it's really tough for new players to survive. And for that reason, I'm teaching you in this video how to make a secure base. I'm going to teach you how to make secure walls around a faction that you can start to build. I'm going to teach you how to make a secure entrance, and I'm going to teach you some really nice tricks on how to secure your spawn location. Those are the three most important things on the server. And then, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to help you out. So don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the episode. What about these chunks right here? So like this chunk right here, and this chunk, and this chunk, and this chunk. 4 chunks. /F space SC. And it'll allow you to see which chunks you want to build. Ooh, you claimed one. Great. Now only claim one of them for now, so that I can build on the others. You know what I mean? Like leave a couple of them wilderness. And here's what you're going to do. I want you to go to the edge of the chunk and count from the corner. 1 diagonally, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is where your inner wall is going to be, on this 5th block. And that's because you won't be able to... Could you kill that zombie? Thanks. If someone is outside, they won't be able to lift in from that distance. So I'm going to craft up a lift sign just to show you. If someone was not in your base, they would be able to make a sign right here. I'll say lift up. And this one will say lift down. And what'll happen is they'll be able to get on top of your base or whatever, and then lift down into it if they have space for it. So for example, like right here. So if I had a block like that and I click there, I could lift down into your base. But they can't do it if they're this far away. So we'll make a little space to test this, and from this distance I cannot reach that lift sign, and the same goes for down here. I can't reach it. I can reach this block, but I couldn't reach that lift sign if I tried. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we build our inner wall right at this line. And you're going to count from these corners as well. The corner of this next chunk over. Go up to the top like this, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this is our inner wall. And all we're going to do right now for the first step is just line out our inner wall, and we make sure that we're invis. Okay, right up here we're going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last corner. Go ahead, you can do it this time, Blip. And now we just continue a wall all the way around the perimeter with whatever block. It doesn't matter. Ooh, am I off one? Sorry, I'll destroy these. 3, 4, 5. No, I was right. Oh, yeah, but you want it to be double thick. Yes, for sure. And you want it double thick so that they can't just put a horse through it. Because normally what happens is so let's pretend I'm not in this faction. So Blip, why don't you claim this one chunk right here for your faction? And he's going to do that by typing /F space claim 1. And that's what you would type. Oh, but I'm an ally, so even though he has this claimed, perfect. I can help him build in it. So if I was not an ally, I would be able to temporarily break that block, and it would pop back into existence, but not before I place a horse on the other side. And then you can right click on the horse, which would put you on the horse, which would be right here, and then I could go inside his base and kill him and claim his spawn. So after we get a wall set up, we got to make sure that we're invis while we're setting up the wall. So we want a wall and we want a ceiling. We want the wall to be 2 layers thick at least, and the ideal thing to build out of is not stone. It's actually cobble or some other block that cannot be broken with an efficiency 5 pick with haste 2. So if I had haste 2 and efficiency 5 pick, I would be able to instantly break this block, which means I could break 2 of these blocks fast enough to be able to place a horse. So this is not the most secure block, but this is how we start a base. Just with some little walls. Ideally, you'd have some cobble. So when you first join the server, you're actually not going to have all this stuff. You're going to have a starter kit, which is just some chain link armor, a stone axe, a stone pickaxe, an invisibility 3 potion, invisibility potion that lasts 3 minutes, and you're going to use that potion to get out into wilderness, to find your spot of land, and you're not going to claim it yet. You're just going to dig down. And then once you dig down, you're going to look for a zombie spawner or a skeleton spawner or a spider spawner. If you happen to find one, that's where you're going to claim. On the way, you're going to grab all the iron you can, you're going to grab all the diamonds you can, and you're going to use that diamond to make a better pick, and then you're going to get a bunch of cobble. And then if you find that spawner, you're going to claim that land, and you're going to start building your walls, just like I explained how to build the walls. You only claim 4 blocks though, because you only have 10 power. That means you can die once and be safe, and you can just sit in your spawn spot until you regenerate 2 power, and then you can die again and be safe. And then you have to sit in your spawn spot until you regenerate the 4 power, because if you go below 4 power, then people can claim your land. After we make these walls, we're going to make a ceiling, because people can just easily tower up on the outside of your land high enough. And you have to understand that people on the server have feather falling, and they could just run and jump right into on top of your land, even though you have these walls. So that's why you need a ceiling. And your ceiling has to be, I prefer it to be 2 thick, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be 1 thick, as long as, so let's pretend I made a ceiling here. Let's pretend I made a ceiling right here. So if I could break this block temporarily, boom, and then place a horse down there, see, I can obviously reach that land. If I could place a horse down there, this would not be a secure ceiling. In order to be a secure ceiling, it would have to be high enough where I can't reach the ground to make a horse, to place down a horse egg. Because Mob Catcher is a plugin that we have on the server, and it's actually a really good plugin. It helps us to keep the entity numbers low, which allows us to have entities like zombies and chickens and everything, villagers. Many servers don't allow you to have entities because they cause so much lag, but we have Mob Catcher to allow you to put away any entities that you're not using. And because of that, you can grab horses, you can grab pigs and saddles, and you can use that stuff to get into people's bases, which is good because we don't have ender pearls, because our staff decided that people were using it too much to get out of PvP, like to avoid PvP, and we wanted PvP to be a big thing on the server, and it is. The reason that we have to make these walls and be so stealthy and do this so quickly is because PvP is such an issue, and new players get killed all the time by veteran players right when they're starting. And it's not against the rules, so it's fine. I don't like to do it anymore, because it's kind of a mean thing to do. It'd be better for me if they stayed on the server a while and they got diamonds and gold and stockpiled them, and then I raided them, and then I could get good stuff from them. But by that point, they're already invested in the server, they know it, and they're going to build a new base rather than rage quitting after dying the first time. So I'm out of blocks, so I'm going to have to go back to the base and get some more. And it's perfect timing too because I'm just about to run out of invis. But I'll be back in just a second. This is the easiest way to build the wall, is to kind of move it a diagonal. Move it at a diagonal and aim a little bit forward, just enough to where you can kind of do it at this rate. I'm going to use a speed potion because that'll make me a little bit faster. Okay, so this is looking pretty tall. It's looking pretty good. We're going to finish our outer layer. Okay, players can come in and out of stargates. You can fight up until the stargate, that's fine. The only rule is you cannot click a button on a stargate to prevent someone from coming in. But Blipbox specifically chose a location that is pretty relatively close to a stargate, and he did that so that he can get to and from anywhere in the world just based on that stargate. And keep in mind, this server has something called live map. All you have to do is open up your web browser and you go to this URL. Yikes. Open up your web browser and go to this URL. It's factions.choicecraft.net:8002. And that'll bring you to this map. This is a live map of where all the players exposed to sunlight are. Now, these players are not invisible. The reason that we are invisible is so that we don't show up on live map. See, we're up here. We're right here. This is Pesky Pegs. Where is Ruler? We're looking for a faction called Ruler. We're at Northwest 5. Oh, here we are. That's Ruler. Now, it's also a rule that we have to have a flag, which delineates a set home. So the next thing that we have to do as soon as we get our ceiling is we're going to make a set home. /F space set home. Our walls are pretty good so far, so I'm gonna start with a ceiling. So the ceiling is going to start right here, just like this. And in order for it to be a secure ceiling, we're gonna have to remember we have to make sure the floor is far enough away. And to do that with this corner, since this corner is just a little bit higher up, the easiest way is just to dig the corner out a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do. This would obviously be faster if we had a shovel, but this should be adequate. Oh, and this is something that's dangerous as well. Fire spread is turned on. Fire spread is the idea that you could just like start burning the outside of someone's base, and the fire would burn all the blocks to the inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to destroy all these blocks that are burnable, and we're going to fill them in with stone, because these are not secure wall blocks. So someone could have potentially lit this right here with flint and steel, and then the fire would spread, burning all this stuff, and then we'd have a big hole in our wall. Also, I have to check my invis. Okay, my invis was about ready to expire, so I'm glad I did that. So what he's doing is he's making a taller wall so that even above our ceiling, if they jump in, then they're trapped on the roof. So it makes it more of like a disincentive for them. It's like a punishment for trying to find a way into our base. Now you're stuck here and you have to try to find a way out. So if you came with any good items like some diamond gear or some good raiding items, some good fighting items to kill us, then you might lose those because you can't spawn out when you're in an enemy's faction land or even a neutral faction land. The only way you can spawn out of faction land is if you are truced or if you are allied or if it's your own faction land. So the default setting is neutral. So players who are not in good relationship with him will have a tough time getting out of his base, especially if he makes a wall like this. Now, we haven't finished it yet, so that's why we got to be speedy. You have to get as many blocks as you can ready and quick, and you're going to make this kind of quick base. Now, you don't have to do this. If you wanted, you could do the same thing underground, except for underground, instead of building up walls, you'd be clearing out the middle and then leaving the outer walls. You still have to do the same thing. You have to test to make sure that you are 5 blocks from wilderness. And you do that just by digging to wilderness and then counting 5 blocks. But it's the same kind of concept. I prefer to build a structure compared to digging out a structure, because usually when you're starting, you don't really have a really good pick. You have an okay pick, maybe just regular unenchanted diamond. Okay, so let's fill in his ceiling really quick, as fast as we can. And as you can tell, it takes a lot of blocks to do one of these, especially if you're going to do a full 4 chunks. I would suggest that you have maybe 2 double chests of cobble, if not just 1 double chest of cobble, and that should give you enough blocks to make an entire thing. And it doesn't have to be cobble. You could go get netherrack. That's a little bit faster to mine. Just go to the nether. Nether's pretty easy to get to on the server. You just go to spawn and then go to the nether portal. Just don't make it out of wood. You can use dirt, works just fine. We have to make sure that we stay invis, because as soon as we get the ceiling done, we can set our spawn point. And that's actually a rule on the server. If a mod goes on live map and finds out that there's a faction that has no set home, /f space set home to set a home. If they have no set home, they can just unclaim your faction, and then anyone can come in and grab your stuff, or they could disband your faction. It's a faction's rule on this server. You have to have a home set, and they have that rule because if you don't have a home set, you will spawn. You'll respawn when you die in spawn, which is fine, except for you can't. It's like impossible to get raided if you die and automatically go to spawn. Now you could die and then have your home set in somewhere where they can't get to, and then you can type /spawn and you can go there. You won't regen power while you're in spawn, but at least you'll be safe, and you could wait till they get offline and come back later. One of the keys to being safe on the server, Blipbox, you are not invisible. One of the keys to being safe on the server is patience. If somebody's raiding you, you always have the option of just logging off, as long as you're not in combat. And it'll tell you when you're in combat. It's fine. I'm just looking out for you. So we have a little bit of glass. So we'll make a little bit of glass in the ceiling. I personally don't like glass because it allows enemies to see the inside of my base and find potential weak points. For example, right down there, that's a spot where the wall is not doubled up, and if they could get onto the top of my base, they could tell their friends and they could know themselves where the weak points are in my base. But glass is fine if you want a little bit of it. So I'm out of blocks. So Blipbox is going to finish up the ceiling, and that's going to be your first priority, right, Blip? We're going to just put down some torches so we don't get mobs spawning in here. Every couple blocks we're going to do this. And you can tell if you're going to get mob spawning by just hitting F3. If you hit F3, you look at the light. See the light right here? It says light level 15. If this gets down to 7, it's 8 now, 7. So right here on this block where it says 6, 5, these blocks can all spawn zombies or any other kind of creepers, whatever. So you want that light level to be at least 8. So what you do is you go to anywhere that you find a light level, 7, put a torch. Go to the darkest spot right here. That's still 10, so we're good. And I think we're set for the rest of this. We don't need to waste any more torches. We could save these for some other place. But yeah, 9 is the lowest we get. That's good. As long as it doesn't go down to 7, we can't get mob spawning in this area. Ooh, we got an 8 here. I might as well just add a couple more torches. It's not necessary, but okay. So Blip is going to finish the ceiling. I'm going to start digging down to what's going to be his spawn location. So digging straight down is kind of dangerous, so what I like to do is dig down a couple blocks and then move over. So one thing that I like to do to make it easy to get back up is to use lift signs, which are an easy thing to do on this server. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a lift sign right here that says lift. Now you'll be able to go up to this sign, but you won't be able to go down, which is good. This is a one-way lift, and this is a very secure way to leave your spawn point. So I'm going to write down these coords: -224, And the z coordinate is negative 1023. 224, 1023. Now I'm going to just open up a blank notepad, and I'm going to write 224. Oh, it's actually negative 224, and then negative 1023. So now I won't forget, and I have that right there. So we're just going to keep digging down in this fashion. Now you could also just dig like this. Easy way to do it, but I want Blipbox to be able to follow me. So I'm going to give him small jumps to make it easy. And you could put some torches in on the way. It's not going to hurt anything. And it doesn't matter how far you go down, but if you make it all the way to bedrock, it might make it a little bit easier. Oh, here we go. We got bedrock right here. Now, the next thing to do, and keep in mind, since we got some coal. This will be helpful to a new player, but I don't need it right now. So the next thing that you have to do to make sure that this is safe is you have to very securely wall up this area. So I don't want anyone to be able to be anywhere near this area. So I'm going to make sure that all this stuff is plugged up nice and good. Now, personally, I make my spawn locations out of obsidian. I don't expect you to have a lot of obsidian right now, but that's going to be a very high priority, is to make your spawn spot and then make it lined in obsidian as fast as you can. Having a secure spawn spot is actually really important. So he's going to come down here. I'm going to check my coordinates, and I need to find negative 224, negative 1023. Negative 224, negative 1024, 1023. There we go. So now we're going to make the other lift sign. Now this lift sign is actually going to say lift up, close bracket. And this is a format to make a lift up. We'll do this. All right, now the next thing I have to do is tell Blipbox, oops, I'm going to turn this into a lift down temporarily. Blipbox, why don't you come over to me, and I want you I'm going to help you set your spawn spot. So remember, just like any other direction, we have to make sure this is walled in properly, and we're actually going to put some torches in here so that no mobs can spawn. So Blipbox, can you come down here and set your spawn location, please? Yeah, go ahead and take that lift down. And type /F space set home, just like this. I'm not going to hit enter because this is his base, not mine. But that's the command that you type in order to get this. Okay, so you set a home, done. Now when we look on live map, it has a little flag that shows where his set home is. Great. Next, we're going to lift back up. We're going to change this lift sign to a one-way lift. That way no other players can get in here. And I'm personally, Blip, you can go back up, and let's make you a little staircase to get out. I'm going to go down, and I'm going to fill all this in. This server is really, really good at banning hackers, and they rarely, if ever, give them second chances. So we really have a good server without a lot of hackers. And I'm really proud to play here on a server that doesn't have any of that kind of nonsense. But that doesn't mean there are no hackers ever. And maybe this is the situation that it takes to get someone banned. So you don't want to give them that opportunity. So if they're X-raying and they see that there's a tunnel that goes straight down to your spawn spot, they're going to try to take it. And it could get them banned, but sometimes it takes that incident to happen before they get banned. Okay, so we have this nice little thing. No one would ever know. We're going to have to finish up that ceiling, and then we can start replacing these walls with the blocks that he wants to use. Blocks like blue stained clay and quartz. And we're going to start moving all of his stuff over here to this base. Now, if he were to die, he would respawn way down underground. And he's not going to hit that lift up sign until his power has regenerated enough to where he could die again and still keep his land. Alright, we just finished putting in all the stuff. Now we're going to make a secure entrance. So, do you have that iron trapdoor that I asked you about? Great. And I actually need 1 stone to make a stone button. Now this is the easiest way to make a secure entrance, is with an iron trapdoor. And here it is. That's the easiest secure entrance you could do, right from your ceiling. Now, obviously I would want to do it in a spot where I would be a little bit closer to, let's say, like this tree. So this way, you could drop down on a tree and you wouldn't take as much fall damage when you fall. But you have to make sure that that tree is far enough away where they can't place a horse. So right now I can't break those blocks, so that's actually a good distance. Okay, got the button. Fill in the hole. Got this. And this is going to be his temporary secure entrance. Now you can make a fancier entrance later, but right now he needs just an easy, quick way to get down into his base, and that's it. Now he's in his base, he's relatively secure. He can set up a chest room, he can clear out this dirt and turn it into whatever kind of design he wants. He can dig out the bottom, he could even build up, make a lift up to a chest room up in the sky like we have. But the next thing that I would do if I were you is I would go mining and get some gold, use the gold to get some cows, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now by doing it myself. So, okay, Blip, I'm heading to spawn and then I'm going to explore world. So we go to spawn and then we go right into explore world, and we're just going to dig down. I don't like to dig straight down. Ooh. Turk Terminator followed me. So I'm going to go back to spawn. Let's go to a different one. Who's that? That's Splitbox. Okay, this is a good one. We're going to go to northeast. Okay, Blip? Yep, head to northeast. And then we're going to swim down. And as soon as we hit the bottom, we're going to have to start digging. So the easiest way is to right-click and use your breaker. Uh-oh. I'm going to die, aren't I? No! Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that was a fail. Alright, this time I came back a little bit smarter. I got some water breathing. If you don't have water breathing potions, it's fine. Just go to Northwest 5. I have a free water breathing potion dispenser at Northwest 5 for anyone to use. So feel free to do that. I'm just going to come back here, and this time we have water breathing. So I'm just going to dig right down. Get my pick out. Ooh, and it turns out that we just happened to dig right into a place with some free lapis. So I'm going to grab that. I have Silk Touch right now, but you don't need Silk Touch. And I wouldn't expect you to have it. What we're going to do is we're going to dig down to level 35 at least. Why level 35? Right now we're Y level 14. Ooh. And we're just going to go around looking for gold. Obviously, you'd get all the cool stuff that you can find. But specifically, we're looking for gold. Yikes. Here we go. Got some gold already. This was seriously the luckiest run. Oh, Super Breaker, of course. This is the luckiest run I've had in a long time. We came down here looking for gold, and we found it almost instantly. Oh, that's awesome. So I'm actually done mining. I was just going to mine until I got some gold. And then we're going to go back to spawn. We're at spawn. Then we're going to go in here, and the next thing I would do is I would save my gold ore. So we'd go back to your base, wherever that is. Go back to your base and save your gold ore. But I'm personally going to use it to turn that into some quick money by coming over here to the admin shop, and then you click on the sign, and it turns that gold into money. So then you hit /money, and you have 135 money. It costs 100 money to catch a cow and an egg, and all you have to do is throw that egg at the cow. So the next thing that we have to do is we have to find some eggs. So that's the next mission. We're going to go find an egg by finding a chicken. And chickens are anywhere. You could find them anywhere in the overworld, and then you just follow it around literally until you find an egg. I'm going to take my armor off because I'm being chased by people. And we're just going to go to a random portal and then run until we find a chicken. We're going to need food, obviously, so if you don't have food set up in your base, obviously you're going to want to set up some farms first. So I'm going to just run until I find a chicken, and then I'll restart the video. Ooh, I found some sheep here. Sheep are not what I need. I need a chicken. But sheep can't hurt because they actually are going to be a good food source for me. So we'll get some food, and we'll continue on until we find a chicken. Ooh, here it is. I found a chicken. I found 2 of them, actually, and this is exactly what I need. Now, I can either grab some seeds, and I can pull these chickens together. Get these chickens to come to me. We're going to dig them a nice little hole, and we're going to try to push them in the hole. There we go, chickens, get in the hole. And then you literally just wait. Or you could grab some more chickens if there are more chickens around. My invis is going to run up, and I would expect you not to have any more invis at this point. I would expect you to be completely run out of invis. So what I would expect you to do is just to go underground with your chickens like this. And you could either make new chickens by breeding them, or you could just sit here and wait for them to drop an egg or a couple eggs. So I'm gonna wait here until they drop some eggs, and then I'll restart the video. Oh, finally they dropped an egg. I've been waiting for like 10 minutes. Okay, so once you have this egg, you're gonna throw it at a chicken. Make sure you hit, and if you have 100 in your bank account, it'll turn that chicken into an egg. So I'm gonna head back to spawn. Obviously, you would try to get 2 eggs or more so that you can get your own chicken farm, and then use the chicken farm at your base to get some cows, and use the cows to get leather. And once you get a bunch of leather, you can make yourself an enchanting table out of obsidian and diamonds and leather. Or sorry, you make the bookshelves for the enchanting table. So we're gonna go back, and we're gonna set up a little chicken farm. All you really need is a chicken and a hopper. Okay, so we're gonna head over here. We have a little bit of iron, and I need a little bit of cobble in order to make a furnace so I can smelt this iron. But basically what you do is you take your chicken, you make a little house for him like this, boom, and you want that house to have a couple layers up, just like this, so he doesn't get out, just like that. And then you put a hopper right here in place of this block. I don't have a hopper yet, so I'm literally just going to put this block right there to show where the hopper goes. And then you just toss your chicken right down here. Bow. And you'll get lots of eggs. Then you can get your cow. You use the cow to get leather, because leather is like the limiting item when you're trying to get bookshelves. You go down and you mine and mine and mine and mine until you get some diamonds, and then you get a water bucket and you get some a lava lake, and then you turn that lava lake into obsidian. You grab that obsidian. Be very, very careful when you're gathering obsidian. Don't want to fall in lava. Then you get the obsidian, you get your diamonds, you make a book with some sugar cane, and obviously you get an enchanting table. Cover your enchanting table with books, and then you're ready to head to my base. Alright, in order to go to my base, you need your enchanting table set up, you need the bookshelf set up, and then you need 1 diamond and 1 piece of gold ingot. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're just going to go through the random portal, Then we're going to go to northwest 5. Ideally, you'll be invis, but you don't have to be invis. Then we're going to head this way down to my base. Going to go northwest 5, and then we're going to go west. Just dodge all these enemies. You're going to try to go quickly so that anybody who tries to follow you won't be able to keep up. By the time that you get to my base, you'll be safe. Oh, the free water breathing potions that I talked about come out right here. Just hit the button. Oops. Yeah, just hit the button and you'll get free water breathing potions. Then you come over here, and if this hopper is showing, all you have to do is grab your diamond, toss it right there, and then wait for the floor to open up. And then the floor will open up right here. You'll fall into this room, and then you can drop down, and here we are in the spawner. Now, obviously, you're going to want to bring a little sword with you, but this is my base, so I have one right here. I like to use looting 3. You might find other people in the base, and that's fine, but PvP is against the rules when you're in here, so please don't fight each other when you're in here. And that's my base rules, not the server rules. If someone does PvP in here, just tell me, and we'll kill them, or we won't let them in anymore. If you really need some food, we have cookies in here. You can press this for cookies. And then when you want to leave, after you've gotten a ton of experience from the skeleton grinder, now I just got here, so the skeleton grinder is going to start. It's going to start spawning skeletons that are going to float up through the wall, and then they're going to fall down. We're going to kill them. If you wait here just a couple minutes, it'll start to really get going, and they'll be going faster and faster and faster. Get all the stuff that you want. If you want to, you can donate any of the gold items or bones right in here. Just toss it right in here, and we'll use those later, and we'd really appreciate it. Get all your experience, and then what you do is you come on right over here, grab your gold ingot, and you put it down right in there, and then you run. As soon as it opens up, you want to get through there as fast as you can, because if you don't make it in time, you'll suffocate in that wall. Now, right here, you're in wilderness, so you can type /spawn, and then you can go right back to your base. You can use your enchanting levels at your enchanting table, and have a good time. Rinse and repeat. Alright, and once you have these walls set up, you can start to work on the interior of your base. It looks like Blipbox already got a good start, making some nice interior walls, making it look kind of pretty. I have some other blocks for him. We went and got these the other day. So we have this blue stained clay, and we have this block of quartz, and we don't have to stick to the walls. I mean, he could easily like start to make a rounder design of like a cylinder or something. There's really no limit to what you can do. It's just the reason that we have these outer walls is to protect you from people who are going to come kill you, and you have a nice secure spawn location while you work on your base. Alright, and the whole reason that I actually helped Blipbox make this base in the first place is because he gave us a ton of god items, like god armor and god tools. He worked really hard to get us a bunch of really cool stuff. So we're going to help him. I helped him make a base, and I used it as an opportunity to teach new players about how to make their own base. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make all of you your own bases. I won't even be able to go and help you. But that's why I have my spawners down there set up so that players like you can go use them, get your levels up, start getting some really good armor and weapons and tools. That's set up for you, and that's also why I'm making this video, to teach you how to give you the tools so that you can do it yourself. Well, thanks so much for watching, but that's it for today's episode. Check out my channel for more MCMMO tutorials, as well as trap tutorials and factions let's plays. Hope to see you on Factions.